Hey everybody, this is Mike. Today, I am going to reveal what I consider to be the single most important thing that every single person needs to understand about the stock market. And then I'm going to relate it to what's happening right now with all the volatility we're seeing in different markets like stocks, bonds, and commodities. Okay, here we go. The single most important thing that everyone needs to understand about the stock market is that the stock market has never, ever, in the history of the modern stock market, ever failed to recover from any kind of event, any kind of catastrophic event. So, for example, the Great Depression, which happened in 1929 and lasted for really over a decade. We didn't start pulling out of the Great Depression until World War II. That was a terrible time for the U.S. economy, and it was a pretty terrible time for the U.S. stock market. However, the stock market eventually pulled out of it, and when it did, stocks did very well. So the Depression of 1929, huge event, stocks recovered. World War II, that was also a difficult time for the United States and the world. The global economy, the U.S. economy, global stocks were under pressure. But stock market recovered from that. Then you fast forward to more modern times. What about like the tech bubble in 2000 when the NASDAQ crashed 80% from the all-time high? That was pretty devastating for a lot of investors at the time who were looking at things on a shorter term basis. But once again, stock market recovered. Okay, what about the financial crisis from 2008, 2009, the Great Recession, as it's called? That was a pretty rough time for the global and U.S. economies, and the U.S. stock market fell almost 60% from the 52-week high. That was a pretty devastating blow for investors with a short-term time horizon. However, once again, the stock market recovered. So it's really important for investors to understand that there's always going to be a lot of short-term challenges for the world and the stock market. However, what we've seen is that despite these challenges and despite short-term volatility, the stock market has always recovered. And actually, any weakness in the stock market, any kind of corrections or bear markets have actually turned out to be great opportunities to buy low, to make some really good long-term investments. So I think that this is particularly relevant for everyone to understand right now because of what's happening with coronavirus and its impact on the global economy and global stocks. Lots of uncertainty right now. And there's lots of volatility in the stock market and markets in general, and it's making people nervous. So my advice is, number one, focus on the long term. In the long run, it'll work out. We'll get it figured out. And number two, the stock market has never failed to recover from even the most catastrophic challenges. And I think that we're going to see that same pattern repeat itself in this situation. I think the global economy will recover. And I think global stock market will recover. And I think U.S. stocks will recover and do very well in the long run. All right, guys, I hope everyone's having a great day. I'll be back in a few days with another update. Take care.